We have Major Garrett at Columbia University, where I guess, about 3.5 hours tonight, these gentlemen will catch up with each other again. What can we expect from that, Major?
Well, Neil, as you outlined it, it's going to be 45 minutes for John McCain. Then he'll leave the stage, shake hands with Barack Obama. Barack Obama will then come on stage, have his 45 minutes. And national service is the theme, but Judy Woodruff of PBS and Richard Stengel of Time Magazine are the questioners, and I'm sure they'll probably throw in some things about politics, national security. I mean, you can't talk about national service exclusively for 45 minutes, so I'm sure there will be some other topics raised. And I want to let our viewers know, Neil, I mean, this thing they're seeing on our televisions, on their televisions live, I mean, just didn't happen. Here's how it came about. After John McCain accepted the Republican nomination in St. Paul, he got a call that night after a speech from Barack Obama, and the two talked about a lot of things in addition to Obama congratulating McCain. And it arose in that conversation, initially at Obama's suggestion, but quickly with McCain's agreement, that this day would be, number one, a day that should be politics-free. No commercials, radio or television, no BlackBerries for reporters like me being filled up with position papers or political barbs or opposition research, and that they should go to ground zero and go there together. And that's how it came about. And it was quickly agreed upon. And the pictures our country is seeing today is really the first time both nominees of the two respective parties have been together since they claimed those nominations. And on this day, when politics would seem unseemly, remembrance, very clearly, the order of the day.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I mentioned the 1968 example of something of similar heft and magnitude, but as I indicated then, it was before the nominees were assured. In fact, at Martin Luther King's funeral, attended by both Hubert Humphrey and, of course, Richard Nixon, Robert King was still alive. He was the Democratic front runner at the time. So most had assumed they were watching Robert Kennedy and Richard Nixon, the likely nominees, together at an event. And tragically, of course, that was not to be the case when he himself was assassinated 2 months later. So this is the first of this type of thing post the conventions in certainly recent years, right?
That's exactly right, Neil. And of course, this imagery works to the advantage of both candidates in different ways. For Barack Obama, it will probably make it more difficult for John McCain in the days and weeks ahead to assert that he's insufficiently sensitive to or insufficiently prepared or insufficiently willful to take on and fight the war on terror. Similarly, it will be difficult for Barack Obama to say something Democrats have historically alleged of President Bush, that he has sometimes used the politics of 9/11, the memory of 9/11, as sort of a cudgel against Democrats. So what we're seeing with this imagery, because there are no words, as you so rightly pointed out, Neil, no words spoken here. What is going to be evocative and what is going to echo through our country for the next couple of days at least will be these pictures. And these pictures suggest one thing and one thing only, a coming together and a sense that on this issue, the war on terrorism and how to proceed, these two gentlemen are closer, at least in image, than they might have been before.